Television. Reporting tonight, Anne Nwawodo.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, President Bola Tinubu flags off the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project as part of programs to mark his 1 year in office. 3 persons killed and 7 others injured following the collapse of a mosque hit by an excavator Calabar Coastal Highway, which he says will revolutionize transportation in Nigeria as part of project to mark his 1 year in office. The event, which took place in Victoria Island area of Lagos, was attended by state governors, ministers, lawmakers, party chieftains, and leaders in the Nigerian business community. According to the president, the 700-kilometer project marks a journey towards Nigeria's enhanced coastal line connectivity. Our correspondent Dare Idu reports.
It's a long list of political heavyweights led by the president Bola Tinubu at the flag-off of the 700-kilometer Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road. Businessman and industrialist Aliko Dangote is also here. The host, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, delivers the opening address, emphasizing the importance of the project.
I stand here truly proud as a man that is seeing this transformation going on. But the beauty of this is not only in Lagos, because this road goes and traverses Ogun State, goes into Ondo State, get into Edo State, traverse Delta State, get into River State, get into Bayelsa State, get into Akwa Ibom State, before he finally do a bus stop at Cross River State. Mr. President, you deserve a big round of applause.
To God be the glory.
The Senate President and state governors present also speak to how the project will change the face of public infrastructure in Nigeria.
It's a testimony to the national acceptance of this coastal road going from Lagos to Calabar as a national project. We've come to support Mr. President. Like the Master of Ceremonies said, he's a mentor to almost all of us.
Mr. President, this road will be one of your indelible legacies, as no administration will come again to construct another coastal road. This is the only coastline that we have in Nigeria.
People of Nigeria, including generations unborn, will look back and remember a certain President Tinubu who saw what many did not see. I therefore commend Your Excellency for this bold step and urge you to see through the project. History will not forget you.
The wealth of all nations are in the sea. So what we have done today is to open Nigeria to the sea to enable us to bring out the wealth to the hinterlands. So for that, we congratulate you. With the kind of steps you have taken in the last 1 year, I can assure you that you'll be snoring on your bed when you will be declared the second-term president in 2027. So again, I want to say congratulations in advance.
It is tagged the legacy project of President Bola Tinubu. The Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road is expected to push the limit of road infrastructure in Nigeria. And the president is excited that the project is being implemented during his tenure.
It's my bragging day. Who said, we will do this road. We are determined to do it. The way we are going, we have a road that we outlive all of us here present. That is how to build the future. The project is just more than a mere road. It's a symbol of hope, unity, and prosperity.
The ceremony comes to a close with the president performing the official flag-off of the project. The 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, expected to cost 4 billion naira per kilometer, is designed to connect Lagos to Cross River, passing through Ogun, Ondo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom states. Dare Ido, Channels Television News.
And staying in Lagos, to an unfortunate incident, well, 3 persons have been killed while 7 others have been sustained various degrees of injuries after a mosque collapsed in Pakpajau area in Mushin, Lagos State. A report by the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, says preliminary investigation revealed that an excavator clearing the road recklessly hit the mosque, which was a story building, resulting in the collapse as prayer was about to start. The LASEMA boss says the operation has now been concluded and the affected buildings have been leveled to ground zero. The chairman of the mosque, Alhaji Kasim Keshiro, also explains the circumstances leading to the collapse of the mosque.
So around 1:10, I came to mosque to come and pray. Okay, while I was walking down this side of the mosque, so the guy that was using the forklift, trying to excavate the, the gutter, he has already done the gutter, even past the mosque. But when I was going, I saw him that thing actually touched part of the building. And I was trying to question that, why this guy is getting near to the mosque. But because he was also talking to the engineer on what to do, he didn't pay attention to us. So my own intention is that let me go and pray and come back. I'll still come and meet them. That this thing is already getting to the mosque. So we were praying. We started the prayer 1:15. So we prayed till 1:20. By 1:20, I'm trying to also make additional prayer. Then we just discovered that part of the, part of the tiles is being given way. It's giving way. So somebody called our attention and I said, okay, let's take this other side of the mosque and quickly go out. The next thing that we are hearing is everything just came down to us. Luckily, it's just 2 openings. One to the, the generator side, then one to the back side. That's how you can see me here now talking to you. Otherwise, somebody like me would have gone to.
To security matters now in Kogi State, where the state commander of the Nigerian police have confirmed the killing of 2 students who were reportedly kidnapped on Thursday, 9th of May, from the Confluence University of Science and Technology. Confirming their deaths through a phone conversation with our correspondent, the Kogi State Commissioner of Police, Bertrand Onwoha, described the killing by the abductors as very unfortunate, adding that the security operatives are on the trail of the abductors in order to bring them to book. Meanwhile, a non-governmental organization, Education for All, has condemned the killing of the 2 students despite ongoing negotiations with the parents. In a statement by its publicity secretary, Nasir Ibrahim, the NGO also stated that the intent of the kidnappers was to scare young people away from going to school. Following the news of the killing of the 2 students, the authorities of the university has announced a 3-day mourning period in honor of the students. In the nation's capital, Abuja, train services have been restored on the Abuja-Kaduna route after the Abuja-bound train from Kaduna derailed at Jere Station halfway into the journey in the early hours of today. A visit to that scene revealed that the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, and the Nigerian Railway Corporation are still conducting investigation into the accident. According to the statement by the Deputy Director, Public Relations of Railway Corporation, Yakub Mahmood, train services between Kaduna, Rigasa, Edo, Abuja have continued despite the derailment of a coach earlier in the day. That statement also says that all passengers on board arrived their respective destinations safely. A team of Nigerian Railway Corporation engineers are already at the site to restore the affected locations. Economic development has been underscored as a single most important ingredient in engendering sustained national development. But the former and presidential chief economic advisor, Chief Philip Asiodu, is of the opinion that if Nigeria did not abandon its development plans, by now it would not be struggling with the economy as it's doing currently. Chief Asiodu spoke to Channels Television Susan Alien on our personality program, Amazing Africans.
We were consulting some elders. We even involved people like Gawan and in it, to see if we could get across the states, across the divides of religion, not more than 12 young people in each state. And get them to agree on medium and long-term plan to take Nigeria from where we are to first world status, which should have happened at the turn of the last century if we had not abandoned our plans. And not 9 of them to vie for presidency. Unite behind 1 or 2 and agree on continuity. For instance, again, I was dragged into the formation of Vision 2020. So if tomorrow is Abubakar agenda, if it's Okeke agenda, continuity. So what I would like is to get these young people, and by young people I mean age of 25 to 65. Because 65, you still have 10 vigorous years, normally. Some people may be extraordinary, but usually. So get them to agree. And some of us elders should be prepared to help finance the production of this plan. It's not going to be very expensive. All we need to do is update Vision 2010, 2020 or 2010. Update it and you have a plan which will take us to first world.
For more on that, please watch Amazing Africans tomorrow, Monday, May the 27th, 2024 at 12:30 p.m. Nigeria will continue to strengthen its security capabilities at sea in order to keep its maritime domain piracy-free. The Director General of NIMASA, Dayo Mobiriola, made this known during the Deep Blue Project's capability demonstration in Lagos. The exercise involved the air, land, and sea assets of the project, which is meant to curb piracy, robbery, kidnapping, oil theft, smuggling, and illegal trafficking of drugs and persons within the country's territorial waters and exclusive economic zone.
It is obvious from what we have seen today that this is working well. In fact, it has done so well that we have been recognized by the International Maritime Organization, and we have been taken off from the piracy list, and there has been no piracy in Nigerian waters for the past 2 years. And the aim is to continue to sustain it and even to expand it to cover all the areas of security in Nigerian waters, and to also help the neighboring countries as well. Because the more we can protect their water territorial areas, we are also protecting ourselves. Yes, we have increased our continental shelf from 200 to 220 nautical miles, and we need to even cover that 220 and beyond, because even the 220 is what is legally ours, but we can cover beyond that to 350.
In part 2, after the break, federal government.
Where's Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello? Where's Glory now?
I dare you.
Glow, don't go village. Tell all our customer Abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow dedicated 10x. Now he might take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you dey enjoy up to 15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, una say if you enjoy, if una join Globe Rekete 10x, una go get 1,000 naira welcome credit. Finish.
Gulo, you don't win.
Una see dey here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Globe. Please save na Globe dey fine. Na Globe dey go. Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Globe Rekete 10x. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
There's a lot of fear in the journey towards building wealth, especially in an ever-changing economy like ours. And you know why that is? It's because navigating the world of investments without facts and insights is like walking in the dark. But that fear stops now. Opportunities open up to you when you have a trusted guide. Someone with over 28 years of experience advising individuals, corporates, and governments to achieve their dreams through strategic and well-timed investments. That someone is AfriInvest. The journey of 1,000 miles is easier when you have a trusted guide and partner who knows the way. So, take the first step. AfriInvest, simplifying investments, creating wealth.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pearl extract. For visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, for your shade of beautiful.
Do you know that you can now print all your essential items for events without even having to leave your home? It's the Casprint Combo Deal for all events.
Yes!
Weddings, conferences, birthdays, burials, etc. Starting from 495,000 naira only. You get 50 invites, 50 A2 size posters, 50 16-page brochures, 1 large backdrop banner, 1 roll-up banner, 50 jotters with pens, and 50 souvenir carrier bags. Whatever event you're planning, we can adjust to your budget and quantities. Just send your pictures and other information through WhatsApp, and we shall send a design for your approval. Approve your design, and we will produce with super high-quality digital print technology. We can even arrange delivery to your location. Call us now on 0913-156-5016 or 0812-794-9323 or visit our social media pages. Casprints, digital printing at super speed.
There are no doubts at all that President Bola Tinubu is a few hours from officially marking 1 year in office. What may be in doubt is how to fairly measure the performance of his cabinet. Well, tonight, Babajide Ogunsanwo, founder of Leadership by Data and Channels Television's data analyst, is here to share more insights about how much the president has achieved, especially with his 8-point agenda. Hello, Babajide. It's good to have you again on the news at 10.
Good evening, Anne.
Good evening. I mean, earlier this week, we recall some of the ministers presented highlights of their performance in the last 1 year. But the question now will be how accurate actually are the pictures that were presented by these ministers?
With reference to accuracy, there are perhaps 3 ways I would like to look at this. The first is to look at that report that was conducted by the NY, a poll at the end of 2023. NY conducted a poll and asked Nigerians, how satisfied are you with 2023? Now, the results of that poll showed that 66% of Nigerians said that they were not satisfied with 2023. The number 1 reason, hardship. So let's keep our minds on that. 66% of adult Nigerians saying they are not satisfied with the polls. Now, the second thing is to look at how popular are ministers, because the popularity of ministers is perhaps a proxy on how Nigerians understand what is going on in that ministry. And again, looking at recent surveys, clearly 3 names come out as names that some Nigerians recognize. Food security, pretty much when Nigerians were asked who is the minister in charge of that, most Nigerians still do not know. His name, Abubakar Kyari. Again, looking at those 8 points agendas of the president. However, top 3 names that Nigerians recognize among the ministers: Wali Edu, Mohammed Badaru, Minister of Defense, and Olubumi Tunji Ojo. So pretty much what we see is that majority of adult Nigerians still do not even know who these ministers are. And so the performance is another subject. The first is, do Nigerians know who these ministers are? And clearly we see that majority still do not know who the ministers are. Well, and perhaps the third and most important point on the minister's performance is this. Listen, and please listen carefully. The ministers, in presenting this, all did not present their reports in a standard template. In simple terms, there was no standardization in how ministries presented. And so they all presented in the ways that were best suitable to them. And so that made it clearly and very difficult to compare the performance of ministries, number one. Number two is it was extremely difficult, based on their presentations, to compare their targeted expectations in terms of what were their deliverables versus what they actually achieved. And finally, perhaps what made these presentations, yes, a bit of information to the public, but what it made it so difficult to assess the ministers was that none of them said, this is how much I have achieved based on the deliverables expected from the president. And so there were presentations that were more qualitative than quantitative. No standard reporting template, difficulty in measuring their target versus actual, something we really see in the private sector was missing. And clearly what again was missing was how much did you achieve based on your desirable target and based on the president's desirable target. And so based on that, very difficult to really put all of those presentations in numbers, but what we know is some ministers clearly are easier for Nigerians to mention than a lot of other ministers.
All right, so now that we know the last 1 year, let's talk about the challenges that are likely to show up for the next 12 months, the challenges, the opportunities. What are you seeing so far?
I see a lot of opportunities if the president can see them, especially if you look at it from his 8-point agenda. It points to opportunities, it points to challenges, but perhaps opportunities for even him to become a legend. Let's start with the statistics on the 8-point agenda, where we are today and what the president needs to do, especially within the next 12 months. And if we take a look at those statistics beyond May 2024, these are the president's 8-point agenda, and let's take a look at every detail of it. Food security, one of the 8-point agendas. However, food inflation, currently is at 41%, the highest in recent history. Not only is food inflation 41%, if we look at food inflation from the last time the minimum wage bill was passed in April 2019, food inflation is in excess of 92%. And those are the facts from the National Bureau of Statistics. Food inflation compared to 1 year ago, 41%. Food inflation compared to when the minimum wage was passed, 92%. And within those food inflation numbers presents the president clear challenges and opportunities on the road to bring these numbers down. Poverty eradication. Based on the last report from the National Bureau of Statistics, there are 132 million Nigerians categorized as being poor. Poverty eradication is among the president's 8-point agenda. The challenge is, on an average, 10,000 new babies are born. So these numbers are growing really fast. Third, economic growth and job creation. The president's projection for economic growth is double digits. Currently, we are 2.98%, significantly below potential, significantly below the projections of the president. Access to capital, another point on the priority of the president. Recently, we have information that shows that just about 5% of Nigerians have 500,000 naira in the bank account. You heard me right. Just about 5% of Nigerians have 500,000 naira in their bank account. In simple terms, it means that 95% of Nigerians cannot even afford to spend 15,000 naira per day because within a month, all of their money in the bank will be gone. You heard me right. 95%. If 95% of bank account holders in Nigeria spend 15,000 naira per day, within a month, all of their money will be gone. Inclusivity for youth and women. The challenge is we have 120 million youths in Nigeria. Ordinarily, what we should be talking about is the youths that should be talking about inclusivity for non-youths, because the youths represent the majority of Nigerians. And so we should be a country whereby it's the youths that should be talking about how do we include non-youths. However, we find ourselves in a position where we are talking about inclusivity for youths in a country where the youths are the majority. Improving security, another agenda on the list of the president. Based on the Global Terrorism Index, even though Nigeria's security situation is improving, they still say that Nigeria is ranked 4th amongst the most terrorized countries in Africa. The president has to do all within his powers to get Nigeria out of the top 10. Promoting fair play among businesses, strengthening the rule of law, another agenda for the president. However, on the ease of doing business, Nigeria is ranked 131 out of 190. We're in the bottom 32%. And finally, the boogeyman, fighting corruption. However, Transparency International, which is the world's barometer for measuring corruption, says Nigeria's current corruption score is still 2.5 out of 10. And in the last decade, we haven't really gone beyond 2.5, 2.7 to 2.8.
Okay. Patrick, if I let you go, I mean, I'm curious, I'm sure a lot of people are also. Is there any opinion poll concerning job approval rating for the president in the last 12 months in office? So
a lot of companies are doing polls. Factbox is conducting some polls. NY are conducting some polls. They conducted that last poll that showed that last year 66% of Nigerians surveyed said they were not satisfied with 2023. But perhaps the most important poll is what exactly, for the president to remember how he won the election, because that clearly will let him know what the years, especially what the next 12 months could look like. Again, I talk about food and looking at the inflation numbers, especially food inflation. When they say a hungry man is an angry man, and looking at food inflation numbers, we clearly know that the inflation indicator is also a measure of an anger indicator. Let's take a look at that final data in front of us that allows us to clearly know how satisfied are Nigerians. How did the president win? In the Northwest, majority voted against the president. In the North Central, majority voted against the president. Same thing happened in the Northeast. Across all the 6 regions, it was only in the Southwest that the president had more votes than the opposition. However, the president, despite this abnormal situation, was able to be declared the president. What do these numbers mean? It clearly shows that the God of politics, is with Asiwaju. However, what Nigerians are asking is, will the angels of economics stand by him within the next 1 year.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll definitely find out that answer. But thank you so much, Babajide Ogunsanwo, founder of Leadership by Data, and of course, Channels Television.
And surely Wednesday will be digging deeper into a lot of these statistics.
We definitely will. May 29. Thank you once again. And still ahead on the news at 10, Zamfara State Governor moves to tackle menace of out-of-school children with the inauguration of Almajiri Integrated Quranic Education Centers. Please stay with us.
Stay connected to the world with Channels TV Podcast and get all the trending stories. Simply log on to channelstv.com, click on podcast, select the program of your choice, and listen. Our podcast is available on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Tap the expertise you trust. Touch the stories that touch you. Anytime, anywhere. There are places you would like to go. There are faces you would like to see.
My palm is bruised. It's a tiny scar, but it's very painful.
Too many exciting things happening all at once.
From time I've always loved playing the villain.
But you can't be everywhere. Guess what? Yes, we can. Your favorite lifestyle content lives here. Let us be your eyes and ears here on Entertainment News on Channels Television.
Against the governors of the 36 states of the Federation at the Supreme Court over alleged misconduct in the administration of local government affairs. The suit filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, is seeking full autonomy for all local government areas in Nigeria. The suit specifically prayed the court to issue an order prohibiting state governors from embarking on unilateral and unlawful dissolution or democratically elected local government leaders. The governors of the 36 states were sued through their respective attorneys general. It is also asking for an order permitting the funds standing in the credits of local governments to be directly channeled to them from the Federation account in line with the provisions of the Constitution as against the alleged unlawful joint accounts created by the governors. The federal government also prayed to the Supreme Court for an order stopping governors from further constituting caretaker committees to run the affairs of local governments as against a constitutionally recognized and guaranteed democratic system. It equally applied for an order of injunction restraining the governors, their agents, and purveyors from receiving, spending, or tampering with funds released from the Federation account for the benefit of local governments when no democratically elected local government system is put in place in the state. The Supreme Court has fixed May the 30th for hearing of the suit. The National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, is threatening to file a defamation suit against the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Mr. Aminu Gwarzo. The Deputy Governor had alleged that the NSA facilitated the return of the dethroned Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, by providing him with 2 private jets. Although Mr. Ribadu has since denied this allegation, he is now threatening to sue the Deputy Governor if he fails to retract that claim. In a letter to the Deputy Governor from Aliyu and Musa Chambers, counsel to Mr. Ribadu, the NSA demanded an apology from the Deputy Governor, which must be tendered within 24 hours. Counsel to the NSA equally wants the Deputy Governor to issue a public apology in 5 national dailies with wide national coverage and on popular online platforms. As failure to do so, Mr. Ribadu will be compelled to seek redress in a court of law. And 2 days after the dissolution of the 5 Emirates Council created by former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, another protest has erupted in the ancient city over the dissolution and the reinstatement of Alhaji Mohamedou Sanusi as the Emir of Kano. The protesters, who took to the streets in Kano Metropolis, Gaya and Bishi local government areas, are now demanding the reinstatement of Aminu Ado Bayero as the Emir of Kano. Our correspondent Sadiq Eliasu reports.
Tension has continued to rise since the dissolution of the additional emirates created during the Ganduje administration and the subsequent reinstatement of Muhammadu Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano. Supporters of the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, performed a special prayer outside the Nasarawa residence of the Emir. Protests erupted after the prayers, as the protesters carried placards with inscriptions calling for the removal of Muhammadu Sanusi II as the Emir. They are demanding the reinstatement of Aminu Ado Bayero as the Emir.
We are all here, as you can see, Kano State people have gathered out to show their, let me call it, to show their unhappiness over what state government have done. No, as generally, Kano State people needs the Pipe Emirate to be stands as Emirate.
That I want justice to be happening in Kano State, in the Emirate Council, because God knows that our Emir, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, it doesn't make any problem for him. You cannot create there's a problem for him. The Kano State governor cannot say that there's one problem that created since Aminu was arriving in Kano Emirate Council. We are having a peaceful staying in Kano since he arrived in Kano.
Gaya and Bichi local government areas experienced same incidents, with the protests taking a violent turn in Bichi. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the Arewa Social Contract Initiative, Sani Dharma, sued for peace and called on Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero to leave the state for peace to reign.
Our advice is strongly on the dethroned Emir, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, to quickly vacate Kano State. Even if he's going to claim his right, he should leave Kano, and then whatever may come later, he should take it in good faith. But he should accept this is from God and leave Kano State.
Earlier, the State Police Commissioner had warned against disruption of peace in the state.
As whoever, under whatever guise, is found to be planning to disrupt the peace being enjoyed in the state, or feel that he or she can jeopardize the existing security setting in the state will be arrested and be made to bear the full wrath of the law. Therefore, as Police Command is leading other security agencies to sustain the peace and peaceful coexistence for overriding interests, miscreants should stay clear of violence in all its ramifications.
In light of the escalating tensions and widespread protests, it is expected that community leaders and security agents will work towards the restoration of calm and peace in Kano. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
As part of activities to mark his 1 year in office, the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, has commissioned the Almajiri Integrated Quranic Education Center in Gomi local government area of the state. The facility, which includes modern classrooms, solar power, hostels, and a kitchen, is aimed at modernizing the Almajiri system, reduce out-of-school children and street begging in the state.
Zamfara State has faced challenges with high rates of out-of-school children, particularly among the Almajiri population, who often lack access to formal education. The construction of the Almajiri Integrated Quranic Education Center aims to bridge this gap by integrating Quranic education with formal educational curriculum. The Zamfara State Commissioner for Education reveals that the center has enough classrooms to accommodate 270 students, 22 hostels, among other features.
At the ground floor, there are 6 number of classrooms that will accommodate 45 students per classroom. That's a total number of seats for 270 learners. There is 1 staff room, there is 1 director's office, and there are 12 number of toilets.
The special guest of honor and Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Saad Abubakar, in his address expresses concern over the rate of out-of-school children in northern Nigeria. He urges other state governors to build more integrated Quranic education schools to accommodate students and reduce the number of children roaming the streets.
A project like this is very important
because it will not just educate our children in both ways, but will also allow them to have something to do to live a good life without going around begging for food or money. Islam prohibits begging. We all know that. So these children going around begging for food, they are not students of any Islamic institution. They are looking for food to eat like any other person.
The governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, in his remark, said the center aims to provide a safe and conducive learning environment equipped with modern facilities and teachers who can deliver both secular and religious education effectively.
This is even more critical in these contemporary times when children are exposed to all sorts of hazards, including indoctrination into groups that pose challenges to our communities. The system will therefore mainstream the Arabic schools curricula, integrating them with both Islamic studies as well as Western education.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The newly constructed 3 Sangaya schools, known as Alimajiri System Schools, are located in Gumi local government area of Zamfara West Senatorial District, in Kaura, Namoda local government for the North, and Gusau local government for the Central Senatorial Zone.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says that it will go ahead with the continuous voter registration exercise in Edo State, despite the damage of some important equipment at the Edo State headquarters in Benin City following the heavy downpour last Friday. The resident electoral officer, Edo State, Anugum Onoha, stated this after conducting Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki around the premises to inspect the havoc caused by the flood. He says the INEC has already put plans in place to collect registration machines from neighboring states for the voter registration, which has been slated for May the 27th to June the 5th, 2024. The governor, on his part, pledged the support from the state government to salvage the situation ahead of the September 21st governorship election.
We had the flood the day before yesterday as a result of the heavy storm, and the thing affected our fence at the back of the ICT. And I'm so happy that the governor came to inspect the place. Governance is all about the people. We are not talking about politics. The primary duty of government is to protect the lives and property of the people, and this is one of them. So I'm glad to see you here. This place is supposed to be a center for the registration. We have relocated it to our office in the Omoka, just close to the closest office here. We got machine from neighboring states for this purpose. We cannot afford to feed the people. The exercise, if you come by 9 o'clock, we will start by 9.
It's really unfortunate that we had such a devastating rainstorm a couple of days ago, which led to the massive flooding of these premises just ahead of the commencement of the continuous voters registration exercise. I mean, you can imagine how disruptive this incident has been for staff of INEC and also for the people who are expecting that they will have a flawless registration process. What we will do in the immediate is I've set up a team. We're going to have a meeting very early tomorrow with the Federal Ministry of Works that really has responsibility for this road. As you know, it's a federal road. So the drainage design is really with them. So we need to understand what they did. While as a palliative, we'll look for alternative drainage routes system behind where where the low points are. We'll channel waters into those areas. We'll have to work with INEC quickly to resecure the premises so that their facilities are safe, and begin to think about a longer term and much more permanent solution. If they need to be evacuated and the whole area rebuilt, we'll consider that. I believe that's not something we can achieve between now and the elections in 5 months' time.
Talking politics, amid the political crisis in Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration has been commissioning some projects to mark his 1 year in office. In this next report, our correspondent Deborah Agbalama takes a look at the last 1 year in Rivers State under Governor Fubara.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara, like his other colleagues, took oaths to serve their states on May 29, 2023. He succeeds Chief Nyesom Wike as governor.
A lot of people who started this journey with us ought to have been here with us, but unfortunately, they are not here.
4 months into his tenure, a gathering storm surfaces in form of a rift between him and his predecessor, causing a division in the House of Assembly and unsettling his government. Not even a peace accord brokered by President Bola Tinubu could change the situation.
Basis of income to farms will pave the way.
How has Governor Fubara steered the ship of state amid these challenges? He acknowledges losing several months to political instability.
What we want to do for our people is to bring governance to our people, service delivery at record time and cost-effective.
To mark his first year in office, he has so far commissioned completed projects and initiated new ones, including Aleto Ebubu Eteo Road, Elele Omoko Road, Ogoni Andoni Opobo Road, Andoni Section, Emohua Kalabari Road, Trans-Kalabari Road, Ebeda Internal Roads, Okania Obogoro Road, dualized Omoko Ebema Road. 2 months ago, the governor also launched a low-cost housing project in Ikore LGA and the Mechanic Spare Part Village in Ohibo LGA. Recently, he flagged off a 4 billion naira seed funding for SMEs in the state.
To create wealth and job through policies and programs that will engender greater public access to credit and financial inclusion.
Some stakeholders in the state share their thoughts on Fubara's administration so far.
The projects he has embarked on are projects that are of importance and significance to the state.
We've seen someone who, in spite of the distraction, had chosen to remain focused and determined to deliver on good governance.
The chairman of Opobonkoro local government area, Enyada Kukigam, believes projects like the Ring Road and Trans-Kalabari Road will foster rapid urbanization.
These are also ways of bringing other cities closer to the city, and that is to promote the economic investment of our dear Rivers people.
Providing further insights into Governor Fubara's first year in office, the Rivers State chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association and the business community believe his administration is performing well despite the political crisis.
And within this period, we have noticed a huge development in the healthcare delivery system, especially in the aspect of manpower development and also infrastructural development.
Some royal fathers also offer their advice on the way forward.
What we want is governance. So any side piece that is coming from the DCIM, you should forget it. So we are praying to the Supreme Lord God Almighty to give him the strength, guide him, and protect him so that we can enjoy this excellent governance that he has shown.
The governor recently gave assurances that he will not abandon projects started by his predecessor like the Mohua Kalabari Road and Omoko Ibema Road, despite the conflict, adding that all projects will be funded from the state funds without borrowing. Governor Fubara's first year in office has seen achievements and political challenges. His administration started key projects and received positive feedback. However, political instability has affected governance, and resolving these issues is crucial for Rivers State's progress and development. From Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, Deborah Agbalama, Channels Television News.
Let's head to Bauchi State now, where the government is initiating a new scheme aimed at attracting medical professionals and preventing doctors from leaving the state hospitals for better opportunities. Governor Bala Mohammed also promised to ensure that better services are provided at the Bauchi State Specialist Hospital. He made these promises while commissioning 4 renal dialysis machines and radiology equipment at the Specialist Hospital. Our correspondent Hajara Aliyu reports.
The Specialist Hospital Bauchi is getting the attention of the state government as the newly procured dialysis machines worth over $200,000 for renal care to patients are installed. Governor Bala Mohammed inspects the equipment and other facilities, including new X-ray digital machines, ultrasound scan, and MRI scan. The government explains that it is embarking on an upgrade of the facility to provide specialized care to patients.
And with these new tools, our medical professionals will be better equipped to detect and manage various health conditions with greater precision and efficiency.
At optimal capacity, the renal center can provide dialysis for about 12 to 14 patients per day and serving up to 300 patients per month.
During his speech, the governor promises to reverse the deterioration in the hospital's ability to provide good services.
This hospital has suffered so much, pilferage and theft, so many misdemeanor, mismanagement, truancy by medical officers, and abuse of authority. So we have to arrest it. It is not about making speeches and bringing equipment, and at the end of the day, there are no services. I will no longer condone this. I know what happened here. We are about to bring a program, initiative, where we will have retention of our medical personnel. We have only 4 consultants here, but thank God, our collaboration with Teaching Hospital, we are getting consultants to come and assist. But we want to have our own. We want to produce medical officers from this hospital. This hospital must be the best in the Northeast. I will not take second position.
Back at the Government House, the House of Representatives Committee on Health Institution visits Governor Mohammed.
One of the vision of the Committee on Health Institution, 10th House of Assembly, National Assembly, House of Rep, is to reduce medical tourism. And that's why we have taken it upon ourselves to visit all the hospitals, to look at the gaps and where we can come in. And we have already started talking to people that they should come to Bauchi State.
The state has since declared a state of emergency in the sector, with the hope that quality health care will be provided to the people. Hajara Aliyu, Channels Television News.
Let's talk sports now. Edo Queens have emerged champions of this season's Nigeria Women Football League for the first time in their history. Edo Queens played out a 1-1 draw with former champions Bayelsa Queens in the final game of the 6-team championship playoff, which was held at the Samson Siasia Stadium in Yenagoa. The Benin City outfit finished top of the group with 10 points, while Rivers Angels were also drawn 1-1 with Heartland Queens. They came second with 9 points, the same as Bayelsa Queens, but with superior goals scored. Edo Queens will now represent Nigeria in the West African Football Union Championships, which serves as qualifiers for the Women's Champions League later this year. The Nigeria Premier League returns today after a 1-month break with all 20 clubs in action on match day 33. Lobe Stars were shocked at home by Aqua United losing 2-1. Rangers maintained their top spot on that table with a 3-0 win over Bayelsa United, while Rivers spanked Sporting Lagos 4-1. In other results, Heartland recorded a 3-0 win over Gombe United. As for Kano Pillars, they triumphed Doma United 3-1. Kwara United held on a 3-2 victory over Remo Stars, while Enyimba piped Abia Warriors by a lone goal. And the match between Katsina United and Shooting Stars ended in a 2-all draw. Bendel Insurance held Sunshine Stars to a goalless draw in Akure, while Niger Tornadoes also did the same in Plateau United in Jos. Outside Nigeria now, Roland Garros fans are expecting an unprecedented winner and the end of a wonderful chapter for Rafael Nadal, who has won the French Open 14 times. Now at 37, after 2 injury-ridden seasons, he will have his work cut out for him in his first round against Germany's Alexander Zverev, and that will happen on Monday.
I expect probably newcomer to win this year. I think this is a very open year for Roland Garros. Obviously, Rafa is probably not a serious candidate for the title. We're still here to see him and to support him. That's why we're here. But I'll probably think, I don't know, maybe Zverev, if he beats Nadal handedly in the first round, I think maybe that could become the favorite. For a 14-time champion, I don't think we should doubt that he can beat anyone at any point in that court, but I don't think it will happen, though. I think.
The death toll has been rising in tornadoes that tore across 3 U.S. states, destroying homes and cutting power. Dozens more people have been injured. According to reports, 4 people have been killed, 2 in Oklahoma and 7 in northern Texas. Almost 500,000 people across several states are now without electricity. Cook County Sheriff Ray Serpenting says that many more had been injured and the number of casualties is expected to rise. The twisters also overturned lorries, shut highways near Dallas, and left tens of thousands of people without power. May is typically the most active month in the year for severe tornadoes. And the main news again. As part of activities to mark his 1 year in office, President Bola Tinubu today flagged off the 700-kilometer